That night, Ethan sat stiffly at the vanity, the weight of the secret pressing on his chest. Maya knew. She hadn't laughed, hadn't mocked him, but she had seen enough. What would she do with it? Rebecca entered quietly, setting down a new dress across the bed, a sleek midnight blue gown with a pearl necklace. "You're wearing this tomorrow," she said flatly. Ethan frowned. For what? She looked at him in the mirror, her reflection cold. "We're going to a dinner party. And Evelyn is coming with me." His heart pounded. A public dinner party. Adults. Strangers. Exposure on a scale he couldn't imagine. And then, from the doorway, Caleb's voice chimed in. "Perfect. Everyone can finally see who Evelyn really is." Rebecca turned, her eyes narrowing. "Don't push me, Caleb. I'll end your little game before it starts." Caleb shrugged, grinning. "Then I guess Evelyn will have to decide which of us she wants to risk crossing first." Ethan's reflection stared back at him in the mirror, lip gloss shimmering faintly from earlier, hair slightly mussed, eyes filled with dread. For weeks, he had been fighting to stay Ethan. But now, as the forces around him pushed harder, he began to realize a chilling truth. The only way to survive might be to stop fighting Evelyn and start using her. Saturday evening arrived too quickly. The midnight blue gown hung in the doorway like a threat, shimmering under the light. Rebecca had chosen it carefully, too elegant for a child, too mature for a teenager, the kind of dress that would draw eyes. As she zipped him into it, Ethan fought the urge to beg her one last time. "Mom, please, don't make me do this." Her grip tightened on the zipper. "It isn't about what you want anymore, Evelyn. It's about showing the world who you are." When the car pulled up outside the Townsend family's suburban home, Ethan's legs felt like lead. He had been to their house once before, for a holiday barbecue as Ethan. Tonight, he was stepping through the same door as Evelyn. The Townsend dining room glowed with warm light and laughter. Adults in cocktail attire filled the space, chatting over glasses of wine. Rebecca ushered him in like a prize doll. "Everyone, this is my daughter, Evelyn." The words sliced Ethan's chest open. Daughter. Evelyn. And yet, as faces turned toward him, he forced himself to curtsy the way his mother had drilled into him. A polite murmur rippled through the room, compliments about his dress, how lovely he looked, how much he resembled his mother. Ethan's cheeks burned. But then he noticed her. Maya Thompson. Sitting at the far end of the room. Her parents were family friends of the Townsends. And she was staring right at him. Ethan nearly stumbled. His secret was here, in flesh and blood, sitting across the table with a gaze that saw straight through him. During dinner, Rebecca played her role perfectly, chatting with other women about raising daughters and nudging Ethan to smile, to nod, to sip politely. Caleb, who had tagged along with his phone hidden in his jacket, snickered under his breath whenever Ethan flinched. But it was Maya who unsettled him most. She said nothing during the meal, but her eyes never left him. Not mocking, not cruel, something else. Something unreadable. After dinner, as guests mingled in the living room, Ethan slipped out onto the back porch, desperate for air. The gown's bodice constricted his ribs, and every laugh from inside felt like it was at his expense. The door creaked open. Maya stepped outside, closing it softly behind her. For a long moment, neither spoke. The night air wrapped around them like a secret. Finally, she whispered, "It really is you, Ethan." His heart stopped. "Maya, please don't tell anyone. Please." She tilted her head, studying him. Then, to his shock, she didn't laugh. She didn't run. Instead, she stepped closer. "I don't want to hurt you. I just want to know, is this really your choice?" The question hit him harder than any insult could. His lips trembled. "No, not at first. But now, I don't know anymore." Maya's gaze softened, her voice steady. "Then maybe you should decide before someone else keeps deciding for you." Before he could answer, the door burst open. Caleb leaned against the frame, smirking. "Well, isn't this sweet? Evelyn's got herself a girlfriend." Ethan's stomach dropped. Maya's eyes flicked to Caleb, then back to Ethan. Or maybe, she said loudly enough for Caleb to hear, "Evelyn has an ally." Caleb's smirk faltered for the first time. And Ethan realized maybe he wasn't as alone as he thought. The ride home from the dinner party was silent. Rebecca hummed softly to the radio, satisfied with how smoothly Evelyn had been received. Caleb scrolled on his phone, smirking every time Ethan caught his reflection in the rearview mirror. But Ethan's mind was elsewhere on Maya's words. Evelyn has an ally. No one had ever said that to him before. Everyone else, Mom, Caleb, the coworkers, the strangers, only wanted to control, mock, or display him. But Maya, she had looked at him like he was still human. Like he wasn't just a spectacle. For the first time, a seed of hope had been planted. The following Monday, Ethan sat at his desk in English class, dreading what Maya might do. Would she tell? Would she laugh? Instead, when the bell rang, she quietly slipped him a folded note. He opened it under the desk. Meet me after school. Library. Don't bring Caleb. His chest tightened. He glanced back at her, but she didn't look his way. She just gathered her books like nothing had happened. That afternoon, in the quiet corner of the library, Maya sat waiting. She looked up as Ethan approached, and her voice was calm but firm. You don't have to explain. I just want you to know I'm not going to expose you. Ethan's throat felt tight. Why? Because I know what it's like to live under someone else's rules, she said quietly. My parents control everything I do, what I wear, who I talk to, even what college I'm supposed to apply to. I know it's not the same, but she hesitated. When I saw you that night, it felt like looking in a mirror. For a moment, Ethan couldn't speak. Relief, guilt, and fear tangled inside him. Then he whispered, Maya, thank you. She leaned closer. If your mom and your brother are forcing this on you, you need someone on your side. Someone who won't use it against you. Ethan nodded slowly, his hands trembling. For weeks, he had been crushed under secrecy. And now, for the first time, he wasn't carrying it alone. But safety never lasted long. When Ethan got home, Caleb was waiting in his room, leaning against the vanity like he owned it. Had fun at the library, sis? He asked, twirling Ethan's wig in his hand. Ethan's stomach flipped. How do you know? Please, Caleb interrupted. I know everything. You think I wouldn't notice you sneaking off? You think I don't see the way that girl looks at you? He leaned in, smirking. If you're not careful, Evelyn's little secret crush is going to end up splashed all over school. Ethan's heart pounded. Caleb wasn't just threatening him anymore. He was threatening Maya too. Rebecca appeared in the doorway just then, her voice cold. What's going on here? Caleb's grin widened. Nothing, Mom. Just Evelyn making friends. Rebecca's eyes narrowed on Ethan. Friends who know too much? Ethan's blood ran cold. They both knew. Maya wasn't just an ally now. She was a liability, and Rebecca never tolerated liabilities. That night, Ethan lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The war inside the house was growing sharper. Caleb wanted to use him as entertainment. Rebecca wanted to mold him into something permanent. And now Maya had stepped into the storm. For the first time, Ethan understood, if he didn't start fighting back, the people he cared about would get dragged down too. Maybe Evelyn wasn't just a role forced on him anymore. Maybe she was the mask he could use to outplay them all. By Tuesday morning, Ethan felt the walls of his life pressing in tighter than ever. Caleb had made it clear he saw Maya as leverage. And Rebecca. Rebecca had that calculating glint in her eye whenever Maya's name slipped into conversation. It wasn't a matter of if they'd involve her. It was a matter of when. That evening, Rebecca sat at the kitchen table with her laptop open, sipping tea. Ethan lingered in the doorway, sensing the trap before she even spoke. So, she said casually, I heard you've been spending time with Maya Thompson. Ethan's stomach clenched. She's just a classmate. Rebecca's lips curved into a thin smile. Classmate or not, she seems to know about Evelyn. Doesn't she? Ethan's pulse thundered. No, she doesn't. Rebecca snapped her laptop shut, eyes sharp. Don't lie to me. I know when people know too much. And if she knows, then she becomes a problem. Caleb strolled into the room, munching on an apple. I say we let her find out everything. Imagine the drama if Evelyn's biggest cheerleader at school turned into her loudest megaphone. Rebecca shot him a glare. Stay out of this, Caleb. But Caleb only smirked. "Oh, I will. Just don't cry when I'm the one holding the phone when Maya tells the whole school." Ethan's fists clenched. For weeks, he had been frozen, caught between Rebecca's control and Caleb's taunts. But when Maya's name left their lips like a weapon, something inside him snapped. "If either of you go near her," he said, his voice trembling but firm, "I swear I'll fight back." Rebecca tilted her head, amusement flickering in her eyes. "Fight back how, Evelyn? You can't even step out of this house without shaking in your little heels." Her words stung, but also lit a spark. Maybe she was right about one thing. Ethan couldn't fight her as himself. But Evelyn could. The next day at school, Maya caught up with him by the lockers. Her voice was low, urgent. "Your mom called my parents last night," she whispered. "She asked them to bring me over this weekend for dinner." Ethan's blood turned cold. "She's trying to drag you in," he muttered. Maya's eyes flashed with quiet defiance. "Then let her. If I see how she treats you, maybe I can help you stop her." He stared at her, stunned. Maya wasn't scared. She was willing to walk into the lion's den. For the first time, Ethan felt something shift inside him. Fear hadn't gone away, but standing next to Maya, it felt lighter. Shared. He looked at her, voice unsteady. "If you're really going to do this, then I have to protect you. No matter what it takes." That night, Ethan stood in front of the vanity. Rebecca had left a soft cream-colored dress out for him, with matching pearls. For once, he didn't see it as a chain. He saw it as armor. If his mother wanted Evelyn at the table this weekend, then Evelyn would be there. But not as Rebecca's doll. Not as Caleb's joke. As his own weapon. Saturday evening arrived like a storm cloud. Ethan stood in his room staring at the cream-colored dress Rebecca had chosen. Its pearls shimmered under the light, mocking him. Rebecca appeared in the doorway, her smile sharp. "Put it on, Evelyn. Tonight you'll show Maya's family what a proper young lady looks like." Every word was a dagger. Ethan wanted to resist, but Maya's face flashed in his mind. If he refused, Rebecca would twist it against him and Maya. He slipped into the dress, each tug of fabric heavier than chains. When the Thompsons arrived, Rebecca played the perfect hostess. "Welcome, welcome," she sang, ushering Maya and her parents inside. "This is my daughter, Evelyn." Ethan's heart pounded. Maya's eyes flicked to him, no judgment, no laughter, just quiet strength. But her parents? They smiled politely, unaware of the storm beneath the surface. Dinner was a performance. Rebecca asked pointed questions, her voice laced with sweetness, but sharpened like glass. "So, Maya, how do you feel about having a unique friend like Evelyn?" Maya's fork clinked against her plate. For a heartbeat, Ethan thought she would break. Then she lifted her chin. "I think Evelyn is braver than most people I know." The room stilled. Rebecca's smile faltered. Caleb nearly choked on his drink. Ethan's chest tightened with both terror and something dangerously close to pride.